Hey guys, so I noticed that Crackdown 3 was out and I decided to give it a try. To be honest, I didn't even know it actually released. It seemed like it was in development for a while, and the release seemed a little bit unusual. I know the first game was pretty enjoyable, and the second game had cooperative carnage, so I was kind of hoping that the third game would also be good. The slight buzz around the third game kind of came and went without anyone really noticing it. I remember the previews at some convention talking about it, but not really much else. I had to give it a try to see what the game was about, and if it was actually something that everyone should know about. With that, here are a few of my impressions about Crackdown 3's early game, with a few very early spoilers. From the very first cinematic to the very first moments controlling my character, it became pretty apparent that the look and feel of this game was very unimpressive. The graphics seemed like they could have been done in the original Xbox, or even the 360 at the latest. I guess the developers are trying to keep in theme with the original games, but you can maintain that art style without sacrificing updates to graphics and animations. There could have been much more textures and character animations to make the people that occupy this world feel more alive. The characters look bland and without any real detail having been added. There is a nice color scheme to the game with a few neon signs and holographic advertisements that add a little bit to the visual appeal of the city, but even those are not enough to draw attention away from the lack of real detail. Even the holographic advertisements of people dancing didn't do much to add, since they would sometimes not do anything or not even appear. Maybe spending a little bit more time on the visual portion of the game could have added some much needed life to the city. So the opening of the game has a ship full of agents heading for an island of corporate crime and mystery. The Terry Crews agent is leading the briefing on what to expect on the island. During the voyage, the ship is shot down and all agents on board are presumed killed. In Mass Effect 2 fashion, Agent Terry Crews is seen being reconstructed, and this basically acts as the reason to depower the agents back to level 1. Now, for me, this would have been a perfect opportunity to throw in a character creator. Your agent's appearance could have changed, and you could have personalized what would eventually become your superpowered agent. To me, this was a huge missed opportunity that could have added some real investment for you and your character. No such luck, however, but you do get to choose a character from a small roster. Eventually, you can get more agents by finding DNA from the wreckage of the ship you enter the island on. I do like this feature, but the characters that you unlock seem like different versions of the same person. They're not only uninteresting and bland visually, but the only difference in playstyle is that each agent has different XP modifiers. A primary that gives plus 15% on a specific upgrade, like explosives and driving firearms for example, and a secondary that only gives plus 10%. There was a huge missed opportunity here, where instead of adding XP modifiers, they could have specialized each of the agents. For example, they could have had a guy that carries a bazooka and deals more damage with explosives, or a woman that wields a powerful sniper rifle and deals more damage with long-range rifles. Adding personality and further customization for clothing options would have helped to make the characters feel more individualized and less like cheap copies. After the initial cutscene, you start the game in a room with a pistol. As I got into combat, I knew I would not like the gunfights. The aim system is auto-aim and you can target specific parts of the body after you kill the first few bad guys and receive the first upgrade. Shooting enemies requires almost no skill, so you just need a powerful weapon and the game does the rest for you. If the enemies get close, or you enjoy close quarters combat, there is a melee button. Just like the guns, all you have to do is hit the one button and maybe the auto-aim, and the enemies will fall before you. Fortunately, the enemies get a little tougher, so you have to mix up tactics a little bit, but I do use the word tactics lightly. The enemies have never really been particularly interesting in the Crackdown games that I remember, but having simple graphics, plain characters, and forgettable combat is a great combination to get people to not play the game. The saving grace of these games is that you can considerably upgrade your agent through orbs. Green orbs can be collected by climbing high up on buildings, which increase your agility, allowing you to jump higher, or even adds another jump. The many other orbs can be obtained by simply playing the game. Using explosives, driving cars at high speeds, and just shooting enemies can all give you skill-specific orbs. You can also find hidden orbs which can give you XP to all the skills. The more your character is upgraded, the more options you have for traveling around the city, disposing of enemies, and just causing chaos. As much fun as this can be, I worried that this system alone is not enough to carry the game. I found myself asking why even bother to keep collecting the orbs or chasing bosses with such a little payoff. The main baddie of the game is Nemo, the head of the corporate criminal organization. She has several lieutenants that you have to bring down in order to get to her. There is an option to go straight for the head boss, but without all of the upgrades that you would get ahead of time by simply playing the game, it would probably be a grueling experience. For each lieutenant you bring down, another system in the criminal empire is disrupted, and you gain a few cool perks to help you in your fight. For example, once I took a few of the monorail stations, I gained a perk that allowed a mobile turret that was attached to the monorail to fight for me. Another thing that I liked was that when some of the boss systems are disrupted, you do get some internal strife between them. The boss system isn't bad, but I feel like too many other games have already done it better. Ghost Recon Wildlands, for example, had whole cutscenes devoted to the breakdown of networks and the bosses falling from power in spectacular fashion. The system for Crackdown's enemies feels a little dated, but I definitely think it is one of the more positive features in the game. It does need a little work, but getting perks from defeating different portions of the boss system is gratifying, in that you get a few things to help you in your fight. I wasn't really sure what to make of this game, but after playing it, I can see why it was kind of passed under the radar. Many of the features that are present in this game were available in previous installments and are in need of a major overhaul. Plain graphics, uninteresting combat, and a lack of customization of agents, and an absence of individual interest or investment in the characters, and this game was doomed to fail. I don't want to be harsh about a franchise that I did enjoy in the past, but these games do need some new direction. There is so much opportunity here to make something interesting, and I hope that developers can learn from what I believe is this game's shortcomings. Anyway, that's it guys. If you enjoyed this video or thought it was helpful, please like and subscribe. There's more content to come, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.